Okay, this is the day 9 notes for Polar. We're gonna double up today because of the snow day on Monday. So I made 2 of these for you. So anyway, we're converting. We're using doing the products and the quotients for complex numbers today. All right. So first, to warm up, we're gonna convert from rectangular to polar. So there's 2 different things we have to do: points and numbers. So in rectangular mode, remember that this is x and y, and we got to convert that to a point r theta. So to do that, we use the x squared plus y squared equals r squared formula. But I'm hoping that you can know what the r value is by looking at the points. You got one side that's 3, the other side that's 3. You're clearly 3 root 2. So there's your r value. And then the quadrant that this is in is the 4th quadrant because of the positive x, negative y. So then your theta is always the inverse tangent of the y over the x, or -1, but you know if it's a 45, 45, 90 because of the 3 root 2 relationship. So the theta is 45. That's the reference angle. But if it's in the 4th quadrant, your theta is going to be 315. So, excuse me. So then your r theta is going to be 3 root 2, comma 315. Number 2, we have numbers. So this is an actual complex number. We're going to convert to polar form. So this is what we were doing on Friday. So remembering, of course, this is x plus yi, and we need to convert this to r cis theta. So to do that, we got to get the r value. So again, we do our x squared plus our y squared.
Why are you doing that?
I'm making a video for my class because I need a sub tomorrow. Okay, you need to be quiet. Thanks. That was my daughter. Don't mind her. 6 root 3 squared equals r squared. So that's 36. 6 root 3 squared is 108, is r squared. 144 is r squared, so then 12 is r. Now, we could have also drawn the picture. You're in the 1st quadrant, where your x value is 6, your y value is 6 root 3. So, if you divide by 6, you know where your root 3 is, so that's next to the 30. So there's your 30, 60, 90, which makes the hypotenuse 12. So the reference angle is a 60, you're in the 1st quadrant, so then your theta is 60 degrees. So the r cis theta would be 12 cis 60. Or expanded out, 12 cosine 60 plus I sine 60. And then we're going to be working from polar form all day today because it makes the operations a lot easier. Yeah. Now going from polar to rectangular, this again is r theta, and we need to convert this to x, y. So we're going to use the 2 formulas that we've been using for a while. X equals r cosine theta, and y equals r sine theta. Then, so this is in the third quadrant, that's where 225 is. So cosine and sine are, excuse me, both negative there. So this is 7 times negative root 2 over 2, and 7 times negative root 2 over 2. So the xy coordinate is negative 7 root 2 over 2, comma, negative 7 root 2 over 2. Number 5, so this is the actual polar number, so 5 cis 150, and all we have to do here is just evaluate. So 150 degrees is a reference angle of 30. So there's your root 3, there's your 1, there's your 2. You're in the second quadrant. So your cosine is negative, your sine is positive. So this just ends up being 5 multiplied by root 3 over 2, and that's negative, plus 1/2 I. Distribute that out, I get negative 5 root 3 over 2 plus 5 has I. So let's review from Friday. So now, the first part of what you need to know today, I'm just going to do 2 examples because it gets repetitive after that, is that you got the product rule and then you got the quotient rule. So it's taking 2 complex numbers and multiplying them or dividing them. Okay. So I'm just going to give you the formula straight out so you can use this. So when you're multiplying complex numbers, what you do is you multiply the R1, the first R, times the second R, and then you add the thetas. So you go cosine of the theta 1 plus the theta 2 and then plus I sine of theta 1 plus theta 2. So product rule, I add my thetas, multiply my r's. The quotient rule, right below, is I would do the same thing with the r's, so I'm just going to do what it tells me to do, r1 divided by r2, and then I subtract the angles. So it would be cosine theta 1 minus theta 2 plus I sine of theta 1 minus theta 2. Simple as that. Add when you multiply, subtract when you divide. It's kind of like exponents, right? So the first one here, I'm multiplying. So use that formula. So 3 times 2 is 6. And it ends up being cosine 20 plus 130 is 150 plus I sine 150. 130 plus 20 is 150. And that's it. Okay, so then I can just convert this back to a rectangular form. The cosine of a 30 in the second quadrant is root 3 over 2, and it's negative. So that's 6 multiplied by negative root 3 over 2. Sine in the second is positive, and it's positive 1/2. So that'll just give me negative 3 root 3 plus 3i. And then dividing, all I'm doing is using that quotient rule. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. And then it's going to be 250 minus the 25. So cosine of 225 plus I sine of 225. So you are in the third quadrant, so cosine and sine are negative. You know it's root 2 over 2, of course. So it would be 2 multiplied by negative root 2 over 2 minus root 2 over 2i. Or negative root 2 minus root 2i. So that's it for product and quotient rule. It's not too bad. So the next notes are going to be the day 10 notes. So open those up, and Mr. or Mrs. Substitute, can you please play that video now? Thank you.